Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the place where you get edified with yours truly, Dr. Eddie, best-selling author and empowerment speaker. Listen, are we connected on social media? I hope we're connected. If not, take out your phone right now, get connected with me. Let's power up together. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and we don't stop. At Eddie Connor Jr. Connect with me there. As well, listen, you want to make sure that you're part of my Academy community family where I empower you through faith, identity, relationships, speaker training, financial empowerment, and so much more. Definitely connect. Let's connect and touch base there because I got so much wealth of wisdom for you, your friends, your loved ones, and your family too. So let's do that. Listen, I want to talk today. You see I'm wearing green, so green means go, and that's what we're going to do. I want to share 3 ways for you to march forward this month. That's what it's going to do. That's what it's going to be. That's what's going to be your portion this month. 3 ways for you to march forward this month. I want to focus on us marching forward into our destiny, into what God has for us. You know, not in a place of regression, but we're in a place of progression. Progressing spirit, soul, body, in our mind. And so I hope you have a pen and some paper. I hope you have some notes because I really want to give you some key tools, principles to apply to your month to manifest it. I believe this is the month where what you've been manifesting, you're not only going to march to it, but hear me, it's going to march to you. It's going to march to you for what God has for you and what he wants to do in and through you. So let's go to it. I want to give you 3 ways to march forward into this month. Number 1, if you're going to march, you got to know where you want to go. It's important. You got to know what you want, but you also have to know where you want to go. And so many people have not done this. They have not even planned out the trajectory of their life. They have not even thought about, this is what I want the next 5 months to look like. This is what I want the next 5 years to look like. They have no plan of action. And hear me, people don't just plan to fail. They fail to plan. If you don't know what you want, somebody's going to decide what you get. And generally it's going to be what you don't want. But how do you know what you don't want if you don't know what you do want? Are you confused yet? Well, so is the person who doesn't know what they don't want. All right. And hear me, I'm trying to wear something in the color family of green because I believe God has given you the green light. But what is it for God to give you the green light if you sit at the light? If you just sit at the light and you don't do anything, what is it? Right? You have to have a plan of action to know what it is that you want, but also where you want to go. And I believe especially you have to have a plan of action. I was in a seminar some years ago. God rest his soul, the late, great Dr. Miles Monroe was talking about, business. And he said, hey, drive around your community, drive around your neighborhood, drive around your environment. Every problem is a business. I thought it was a profound quote. But one thing that I thought was even more profound is he mentioned that he had a 50-year plan of action, a 50-year vision, not just for himself, but he had a vision, 50-year vision for his family. I mean, he said, I planned out my vision so much. This is his words. He planned out his vision so much that when he passes on, family should have no hesitation. Family should just be able to operate in a place of demonstration to pick up where he left off. And I mean, that man was talking as if he had already passed on. But he said he could talk so comfortably about it simply because he knew not only the trajectory of his life, but he knew the trajectory of his family and what they were supposed to do as he literally passes the baton to them. Listen, I'm not asking you, I'm not saying for you to plan 50 years out. But do you have a plan for what the next phase of your life looks like? And I'm not talking about just what it looks like mentally. You got to be able to sketch it out practically. What does the Bible say? Write the vision, make it plain, that he that readeth it may run. She that readeth it may run. When you write the vision and make it plain, hear me, it becomes like a plane. To ascend, to take off, to soar to the next level. So you got to know where you want to go. Where do you want to go this month? Where do you want to go for this week? And I'm not talking about just vacation. I'm talking about vocation. Right? A job is what you're paid for. Your purpose is what you're made for. Do you know your purpose? What's the plan of the purpose that can transform that plan into action to be able to move you to the next dimension? Right? And some of us, we haven't gotten down to business at all. Right? We just been trying to make a living, but are we making a life while making a living? Right? Well, I'm done after work and I'm just so tired. Maybe it's not that you're so tired, you're just uninspired. You got to shake yourself. Right? You got to brush your shoulders off. You got to let go of the lethargy and move into a place of action to walk in a place of prosperity. That's number one. If you're going to march forward in March, got to know where you want to go. And matter of fact, just beyond March, if you're going to march forward in life in general, you got to know what you want. And you also got to know where you want to go. Number two, let faith guide your feet. What does the Bible say? The steps of a good man, and yes, even woman, are ordered by the Lord. Right? You got to allow God to guide your feet. I heard somebody say, listen, if you want to make God laugh, just tell him your plans. And one thing that we have to do, we have to make sure that our plans align with what God has intended for us to walk in. Right? It's one thing for us to know where we want to go, but does where we want to go line up with where God wants us to be? Let me say that again. Let me say it twice because it's oh so nice. Does where you want to go line up with where God wants you to be? Nothing worse than being in the place where God doesn't want you to be in the first place. Y'all listening? Y'all with me on this? Right? I got to let faith guide my feet. I got to let God order my steps each and every single day. Just say, not my will, but your will be done. Right? I got to get into a place of surrender and not just get into a place. I got to stay in that place. Right? To where his desires now become mine for my own life, because I've acquiesced, because I've surrendered, because I've given up what does not serve me. That is in the best interest of God for my life. I got to let faith guide my feet. And hear me, when faith guides your feet, you know that God has your back because goodness and mercy are always following you. When faith guides your feet, you can't help but to step into favor. They got the money, but you got the favor. And guess what? God will give you favor that money can't buy. You got to allow him to guide you. Got to allow him to lead you. You got to say, listen, this would be amazing if this happened in my own timing. But hear me, God's timing is better than yours. And what is it for you to want an opportunity that you're not prepared to step into? The worst thing for you to have is success that you're not ready for. The worst thing for you to have is success that you're not prepared to handle. Until you get a handle on the vision and the purpose that God has for your life, until, here it is, you get a handle on your attitude. Until you get a handle on your habits, until you get a handle on your disposition, until you get a handle on your character for your gift. Hear me. Your gift will take you to the top, but character will keep you on top. Your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men, but your character will keep you in the room. Matter of fact, character will make you the owner of the building. You got to get to a place and a space to where, yes, I know where I want to go, but I'm letting faith guide my feet. Because sometimes you want to go certain places. Sometimes you want to be in certain environments that God doesn't even want you in the first place. And it'll be deleterious to your destiny. It'll be destructive to your destiny. But when God's divine providence is over your life, when he's governing your mind, your heart, your mind, your spirit, your mind, your will, and your emotions, faith guides your feet. You thought you were supposed to go this way, but you're saying, God, I'm letting you order my steps. Yes, go this way. Oh, and I avoided this. I avoided that negativity. I avoided those haters. Because on the other side, this is where God wanted to make me greater. Number one, I told you, got to know where you want to go. Number two, let faith guide your feet. Number three, last but not least, focus on your focus. If you're going to march forth, yeah, that's right. The 4th of March is the only day on the calendar that tells you to do something. March forth. You got to march forth. You got to march forward. And if you're going to do it, you got to focus on your focus. How do you focus on your focus? Number one, you got to know what you were created to do. What is your purpose? What has God gifted and created you to do? I'm not talking about just the job that you're in. Listen, you can be in your job and not be in your purpose. I'm talking to somebody. You can be working a job, but you not be in your purpose. And hear me. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm telling you this because I know for myself. Worked as a high school teacher for 12 years. All of that was preparatory ground for me to dominate my space and place on the speaking circuit. All of that was the opportunity for me. It was the preparatory ground to be able to handle a number of different personalities all in a room. To be able to handle different dispositions, from staff to faculty to parents to teachers to, of course, students. Right? Don't despise the day of small beginnings. In that element, get what you're supposed to get from the job. But hear me. As you're working a job, don't forget to work your dream. Right? And here it is. Sometimes you have to work your dream like your job until your dream becomes your job. The same stick-to-itiveness that you have to not just survive, I hope you're also thriving at the job, but also to get a promotion, also to move up the ladder, also to ascend, is the same type of stick-to-itiveness and the same type of urgency and the diligence that you're going to need when it comes to you handling your dream and the vision that God gave you. How much time and effort and sweat equity are you willing to put into your focus? Are you willing to have laser focus in the midst of all the distractions that are going on? Right? We spend 2.1 hours every day being distracted. And hear me, the statistics suggest based upon those 2.1 hours of being distracted, it takes us 21 minutes to refocus our focus and to focus on our focus after our focus has been distracted. Now listen, we all get distracted at times. But are you able to minimize the distractions that lead to destruction? Are you able to minimize the distractions, hear me, that lead to procrastination? Come on, you should have been done that book 5 years ago. You should have been wrote that movie script last year. You should have been put down the plans and the blueprint for you to open up that boutique. Don't blame anybody else but yourself. The only person stopping you is you. The greatest enemy is the inner me, but you got to be your best friend. It's not your hater. It's you that's in your way. You got to get out of your own way and let God make a way. And hear me. Sometimes we say, oh, I'm waiting on God. But no, really, God is waiting on us to make the first move, to march forward. You still sitting there. You still taking the mannequin challenge. The music is struck and you just still standing still. Right? You still biting your nails and worrying about what are people going to say about me? You allowing people's opinions to become your prison. You're allowing people's perceptions to become your prison. This is the time to break out of it. This is time to shake yourself free from stinking thinking. Heard somebody say shackles are no longer metal, now they're mental. You got to break the shackles off of your mind. What did Mary say? Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. You being able to dance is being able to march forward into your purpose. It's your time to do it all week long. It's your time to do it all day long. It's your time to do it all month long. It's your time to do it all year long. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to seize it? How much do you want to carpe diem it? Let me speak to you in Latin if you can't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth in English. You got to go after it. This is your time to make it happen. Listen, I hope you were empowered. I hope you were inspired. I hope you were encouraged. I sure enough hope that you were edified. Just by the words of wisdom that I shared with you today. Listen, make sure that you connect with me, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and we don't stop. You know what it is, at Eddie Connor Jr. Listen, why haven't you joined my academy yet? Why haven't you joined my academy family and community? I want to see your face in our digital space. Go right now, dreddieacademy.com to be able to join us there. And that's where the love resides. That's where the empowerment happens. That's where it all takes place. Faith, identity, relationships, speaker training, financial empowerment, and so much more. I want to see you there. So join me, dreddieacademy.com. Peace and love. I'm Dr. Eddie. Stay edified.